the true feeling of myself only when I am unbearably unhappy. Faith is the axe of the guillotine, just as heavy, just as light. He is terribly afraid of dying because he hasn't yet lived. Convulsive gaiety is much sadder than openly expressed sadness. With a real enemy, boundless courage is instilled in you. And man's struggle against the world, bet on the world. A thought expressed aloud, immediately and completely, loses its meaning. Written down, it also always loses it, but sometimes it acquires a new meaning. It is much easier to oppress your neighbor if you know nothing about him. Conscience then does not torment. Women are traps which lie in wait for men everywhere in order to drag them down into the finite. Don't waste time looking for obstacles. They may not exist. Kindness is, in a sense, desolate. When a woman shares her problems with you, most likely she does not complain. She trusts you. The older a person gets, the more his horizons expand, and life opportunities are getting smaller and smaller. They lie the least when they lie the least, not when they have the least reason to lie. Don't marry the one you love, but marry the one who loves you. One of the most effective temptations of evil is the call to fight. Anyone looking for evidence of infidelity hopes not to find it. The more you trust a person, the more he is seducing you. What we call evil is only an inevitability in our endless development. The spirit becomes free only when it ceases to be a support. From a certain point onward, there is no longer any turning back. It is the point that must be reached. What is possible and tolerable for the four of us is impossible and intolerable for this fifth. Besides, there are four of us, and we don't want five of us. Just think how many thoughts a blanket smothers while one lies alone in bed, and how many unhappy dreams it keeps warm. The truth path goes along a rope that is not stretched high, but above the earth itself. It seems to be designed more to be tripped over than to be walked on. The path from the head to the pen is much longer and more difficult than the path from the head to the tongue. Everything, including lies, serves the truth. There is often a painful discrepancy between worldview and reality. Man has long refused to participate in the creation of the world and responsibility for it. The book should be an ice pick for the frozen sea within us. Theoretically, there is the fullest possibility of happiness, to believe in something indestructible in oneself and not strive for it. Only people affected by the same ailment understand each other. Nobody can give more than the one who has lost everything. He who has cognized the fullness of life does not know the fear of death. The fear of death is only the result of an unfulfilled life. There is no need to leave the house. Stay at your desk and listen. Don't even listen. Wait. Don't even wait. Be still and alone, and the world will open to you. It cannot otherwise. Pay no attention to anyone. Do what you think is right. It is impossible to make excuses when they do not want to believe you. If it is not possible to converge closer, people disperse further. Life, all the time, distracts our attention, and we do not even have time to notice from what exactly. Many a book is like a key to unknown chambers within the castle of one's own self. There are two cardinal sins from which all others spring: impatience and laziness. Youth is happy because it has the capacity to see beauty. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty never grows old. First impressions are always unreliable. Through the paradise of vice, you reach the hell of virtue. The meaning of life is that it stops. Only people afflicted with the same disease understand each other. All language is but a poor translation. Books are a narcotic. The first sign of the beginning of knowledge is the desire to die. By believing passionately in something that still does not exist, we create it. The non-existent is whatever we have not sufficiently desired. It is not difficult to love the ones who leave. I think we ought to read only the kind of books that wound and stab us. Paths are made by walking. Since it couldn't get any worse, it got better.